Greetings, my friends. Today, I want to discuss issues to agree on before wedding. You see, many people go into marriage believing that love is sufficient to sustain it. They believe that the person they are signing the dotted lines with will not change and their thoughts will be the same forever. It does not happen so after marriage because people who think like these do not often take into cognizance where their spouse is coming from, what sentiments and facts inform their backgrounds, and how much of those backgrounds still hide in the people they want to get married to. Backgrounds that will surface their monstrous dimensions when the heat of life comes. When couples do not take time to talk openly about their persons or parenting, their likes and dislikes, beliefs and values, dreams and concerns, hopes and expectations, it leads to distorted beliefs, extreme emotional reactions, negative enforcement patterns, incompatible needs of couples, poor communication skills, misunderstandings, and conflicts down the road. Marriages are often troubled by issues as small as where to press the toothpaste bottle, who can visit and sleep over, your friends don't respect me, issues that could have been trashed long before getting married. We are in a world where men come into marriages for their selfish ends, knowing fully well that they were badly brought up and have no ability of husbands to face the responsibilities and expectations of husbands. We are in a world where people deliberately tell lies to deceive people into marriage. We have seen cases where people rent strangers to stand for them as parents while their in-laws do not even know that they are never related. We have seen men who got NYC uniforms and took pictures with it, placed that picture in their homes to deceive girls. Some ladies who did not do their due diligence have fallen into the traps of such men, thinking the guy is a graduate. We have seen women who slash so many years out of their ages just to marry the guy. We have seen girls with premarital children hide the children away with their mothers or their sisters and pretend they are still singles. We have seen people who lie about their towns and state of origins. We have seen people who told the woman to carry on with their religion, but immediately they got married, the narrative changed. Lies like these are rampant in this era because we are not doing it the way our parents did it. The wisdom of our parents can't be faulted, no matter how wise or educated this generation promises to be. In Yoruba land, our parents had what we call the intermediaries. People who carry out detailed research on the family of the suitors. They know the diseases in the family, the source of wealth of the family, the reputation, the history, the pedigree, the panegyric of the family. Those days, the bride and the groom do not need to know each other. Once they know that the family is good, your father can bring the wife to you and the marriage stays forever. Divorce was a rarity those days. You can hardly maltreat your wife because you know it will become a family issue. But now that we claim to be wiser and educated, we discarded the tradition of our fathers and embrace the ways of the white man. Before I list out what we should agree on before wedding day, let me tell you my attitude to the consequences of telling lies to deceive the other partner into marriage. I have done a lot of research on this issue and I've spoken to so many church leaders on their thoughts on what happens when a partner in marriage discovers that the other partner has deceived him or her into marriage. If a lady discovered all the claims, image, certificate, etc. of the man she got married to were lies, is the marriage still valid? Some spiritual leaders said once married, you stay married. For them, marriage is for better and worse. Whatever makes you get married by signing that dotted line with whoever without doing your due diligence, the marriage is valid. What God has joined together, this school of thought says, let no man put asunder. The other opinion is that marriages built on lies are invalid, dead on arrival. For these people, when the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? If the other party cannot cope with the consequences of the lies and desires to pull out, the party is free to do so because there was no marriage in the first instance. I tend to agree with this second school of thought. Any marriage built on lies is nullified. If the other party cannot cope with the enormity or the consequences of the lies, I take side with this second school of thought that the spouse can pull out if the spouse so desired. How do you explain this? A lady knows she has no womb and she did not confide in her husband. The man gets to know after wedding. This is fraudulent. If the man will marry a woman who has no womb, let him know from the beginning. Let him decide on going into the marriage with his full chest, not to discover later in marriage. If a man will marry a lady with a premarital child, let him know from the beginning. If a woman will marry a man who is not a graduate, let her know from the beginning. She should not be deceived with fake NYSC pictures in your house. If the spouse feel they cannot cope with the consequences of the lies, I agree with this second opinion that they are free to pull out because he was deceived into the marriage in the first place. That is what we call obtain by trick. 419. Marriage contracted by trick does not stand. The wedding, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as this second school of thought is concerned, is a nullity. I stand by that school of thought. The issue of divorce or using the word divorce is inappropriate. Divorce can only happen where the marriage was done the right way. In this case of lies, there was no marriage in the first instance. If, however, the spouse feel he or she can cope with the consequences of these lies, all well and good. It is none of my business. Now, let us look at what should be discussed and agreed upon before the wedding day. I sent out a questionnaire to about 250 people, and what I'm about to read to you now are the points I gathered from their responses. Number one, Beatrice said, openly discuss who can visit and stay the night in your house. Who is a visitor or a third party in your house? How long can they stay? What is the limit of the mother and father's-in-law? Where will they sleep in the house? Who has access to your kitchen? Whose place can the children visit and stay? What is the role of husband and wife to the in-laws? Can the man's mother be using his son's wife as a slave? Number two, Olumide said, openly discuss your expectations and needs regarding sex and intimacy to ensure both parties feel satisfied. Do you like oral sex? Sex in bathroom, kitchen, etc. How many times in a week? I did everything with my wife when she was a girlfriend. Immediately we got married, she started denying me that she is now a responsible woman. This is a major issue in my marriage. Number three, Tawakalitu said, discuss whether you want children, numbers of children, if boys, how many, if girls, how many, if no children, can we adopt? It's good to know the perspective of your spouse, especially husbands, on having female children. Some men hide their feelings on this till it happens that all the children are girls. You start hearing him say he must have boys and so he must marry again. It's good to know his views on polygamy, especially if he comes from one. Some men, especially Muslims, see nothing wrong in it. They will tell you that their fathers have 5 wives and they have a peaceful home. Such men could shock you later in marriage when he goes for a second wife. This is my story. It's good to discuss and know what you are going into. Number 4, Lovette said, can we have ex's contact on your phone? Can we pick each other's call? In period of serious disagreement, how do we resolve it? Who can each person speak to? Whose basic duty is school fees, provision of food, house rent? When can the partner support? Let men tell us what are their duties and the wives what are their duties. Number 5, Chief Odulami says, construction of your home is necessary to be discussed. Getting your own property where you are to build in the man's hometown or elsewhere. They should discuss their visions for the future, how long they want to be in salary work, when to leave salary work and establish their own businesses, where they want to live after retirement. Number 6, Shola Alimi says, discuss life preferences, including dietary habits, alcohol intake. Can your wife drink beer? Can the husband smoke? Dressing style. Can the man use earring? Can he do rasta? Number 7, Pastor Paul Okoro says, the faith or religion of the family should be discussed. Are you attending the same church? What church? Who is the pastor of the family? Who is to leave a church for the other? Should the man leave his church for the wife's church, or the wife should leave for the husband's church? Or can anyone go to their church of their choice? These issues have caused issues in so many homes. Where should the children go to? Names of the pastors whose messages should penetrate the family. Who is the family counselor or the family mentor? Number 8, Mrs. Olamide, a chartered accountant, said, talk about your current financial status and salary disclosure. Agree on your budgeting, spending habits, and investment strategies. She added that they should discuss what to do when your wife is a career woman, building a career in a 9 to 5 job while the husband is also a 9 to 5 jobber. How to care for the children. Are you getting a maid whose mother is coming to stay in your house, and for how long can she stay? Matters like these often cause issues in many marriages. Number 10, Dr. Mitchell says, share your current health concern and family health history. Discuss how you will support each other in maintaining a healthy lifestyle and how to handle potential health challenges. Hospital use, family doctors to consult. It is important to know your blood group and your health compatibilities before getting married. Number 11, Pastor Adéwará says, establish boundaries when you have disagreement. Who to speak to, who can interfere, what to say and what not to say in anger. How long can anger last? People you regard as your friends, people you regard as your enemy. Boundaries and limit of relationship with them. What kind of wedding do you want to do? What are the negotiables? What are your non-negotiables? What constitutes cheating? Who is the most important person in your world? These are some issues I believe that you need to discuss and you need to agree upon before you become husbands and wives. I hope you have gained something today, and I hope you will stick by the rules and regulation. There should be rules and regulation in every marriage. When you don't do that, issues happen in marriages. I hope you've gained something today. May the Lord be with you. Thank you. This is Mentoring Masterclass. Thank you.